Part 8, Becoming Great. In this video, we're going to cover a game changer on the SAT. And here it comes. Aha! You don't have to follow the order of the questions that the test gives you. You can skip between questions on the SAT. And you can do the easy ones first. 90% of the students are going to go in and they're going to do number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And guess what happens most of the time? They run out of time, the timer expires, and their test submits. If they know what they're doing, they at least guessed on the remaining questions that they ran out of time on, and there were some easy questions that they missed that they could have got that they had to guess on, or even worse, sometimes they run out of time and they don't even answer any of the remaining questions, and then the computer really punishes your score. So you watch this video and you're going to know that you don't have to do it like that. You can skip in between the questions and do the easy ones first. You don't want to miss those. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't feel natural, but it will help big time on the SAT, and I'm going to demonstrate right now. So first, let's take a look at a super easy question. I love to start with these questions. They're called the rules questions or the standard English questions, whatever you want to call them. They always show up. They're usually like midway through, like number 15 or 16. And you can use that little bar on the bottom and click it on the test. And I'll click on like 15, 16, and I'll start with the first question that has this wording. It says, which choice completes the text so that it conforms to the conventions of standard English? Ding, ding, ding. We know that that is a writing question, standard English question, whatever. And these can be answered very quickly. The first thing you want to do is look at the answer choices. What's changing? Are verbs changing or grammar, or is the punctuation changing? Are we seeing like periods, dashes, parentheses, things like that? And if you said that this is a grammar question, you're correct, because here we see the verbs are changing. So what verb are we going to use? Now, the reason why these are so simple and you want to do them first is because you can get these done quickly. Because guess what? You only need to read the sentence with the blank space in it. Look at that blank space, find the nearest full stop that it starts with, and the final full stop, and just read that sentence. There are some exceptions where you want to go back and read these, but 95, 96% of the time, you only need this sentence. So let's start with it. Interestingly, the triangle representing the mountain itself blank among the few defined figures in her painting. I don't know what this is about, but I know that the subject is the triangle. That's the subject of the sentence. Now, is the triangle one thing or is it two things? If you said it's one thing and it's singular, you're correct. So would you say the triangle are? No, because are is a plural verb. Would you say the triangle have been? No, because have been is for plural. They have been. The triangle is singular. Would you say the triangle were? No, you would not. Let's go back to third grade grammar. This is really how simple it is. That is a plural verb. All three of these are plural verbs, but we could say the triangle is. There we go. We answered that 20 seconds in, or however long it took you to answer that if you know the trick on these question types, and you can move on to the next one. These are at the end of the test. So what happens to students is they spend all their time answering the hard stuff and they miss this. And it was easy points on the SAT. You don't want to do that. Do these first. But you do have questions that are much more difficult and are going to take much more time. And you want to do these after because you'll know how much time is remaining. And if you have to guess on these, big deal. And one of those question types is the charts. If you like these sorts of tips and this is useful for you, like, share, subscribe, check back in. I'm giving this information to you for free because I'm tired of seeing students who pay tons of money for the prep get all the high scores while everyone else gets left behind. Whenever you see these charts, just skip it. Do it at the end. All right, see how much time you have remaining after you answered all the other questions. Then come back to these and do them. It sounds counterintuitive. It doesn't feel right at first, but it will work on this test. So here we have a chart, and it says which choice most effectively uses the data from the graph to complete the text. It's always going to say something like that. Don't even read it on the charts question. Just go right down here onto the text, or you can look at the chart and review it if you want. Organic farms, looks like states here, blah, 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 blah. Organic farming is a method of growing food that tries to reduce environmental harm by using natural forms of pest control and avoiding fertilizers made with synthetic materials, blah, 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 blah. That's not relevant. Organic farms are still a small fraction of the total farms in the United States, but they have been becoming more popular. More nonsense. They just kind of tell you, give you a background. All right. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, in 2016, California had between 2,600 and 2,800 organic farms. That's the important part. Okay, so now we need to verify each of these. The first thing you want to ask yourselves on the charts is the answer choice correct according to the chart? So option A says Washington had between 600 and 800 organic farms. So down here's Washington, and here's the number of organic farms. And it looks like, according to this bar chart, yeah, they had at least 600, that's 800, and here's their chart. So that looks to be correct according to the chart. So let's not eliminate that. It looks like they had between 600 and 800 organic farms, according to this. B, New York had fewer than 800 organic farms. So New York, here's New York. New York had less than 800 farms? No. That's 800. This bar chart is surpassing that. It looks like they had a little bit over 1,000 organic farms. So that's not even correct according to the chart. So it's definitely not my answer. C, Wisconsin and Iowa each had between 1,200 and 1,400 organic farms. Okay, so here's Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin had 1,200 to 1,400, it looks like. Now, Iowa as well, it says down here, no. Iowa didn't even have 800 organic farms. So it definitely didn't have between 1,200 and 1,400. That's not correct according to the chart. Okay, D, Pennsylvania had more than 1,200 organic farms. Here's Pennsylvania, and it looks like they had just about 800. They did not have more than 1,200 organic farms. B, C, and D are all incorrect according to the chart. So A is my answer. And that's probably the easiest charts question you're going to get, something along those lines. Generally, they take even more time because they require you to think a little bit. This one didn't. All this did is required us to be able to read the chart. But even still, even on the easiest of the charts questions, that took a long time. And if I took too long to answer that, I might miss this easy question down here, which you don't want to do. So do the easy ones first, and then make your way to the tough stuff. Hey, are you going to take the SAT? Why not get an edge? You're competing against everyone else who's taking the test. And they are studying, they are preparing, and guess what? If you're not getting the score you want, it's not because you're not smart enough to get a high score. It's because you don't know the specific strategies for this specific test. If you really want to get an edge and get that higher score to get into the university of your dreams, come check me out on Fiverr. Doc English. I'm offering a 12-lesson course that will prepare you for this test, and you will have a huge advantage. Check it out.